Good evening, my friends. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift? Like something invisible is pulling you down, draining you even before a word is spoken? That, my friends, is the power of toxicity. And let me tell you, you're not alone in facing it. But today, we're not just going to survive it, we're going to rise above it. Together, let's explore 7 clever ways to deal with toxic people. And let's do it with courage, clarity, and compassion. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to your well-being, carefully crafted to protect your energy and peace. They are the invisible yet powerful lines that define where your needs, priorities, and inner calm begin, and where the demands, expectations, or negativity of others must stop. Think of boundaries as an act of self-preservation, a way of saying to the world, this is who I am, and this is how I deserve to be treated. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out or rejecting them, it's about protecting the space you need to thrive, heal, and grow without unnecessary interference or depletion. Boundaries are about clarity with yourself and with others. They tell people how to interact with you in a way that aligns with your values and emotional health. Yet, let's be honest, it's not always easy to set them. Guilt often creeps in, making you feel selfish or unreasonable for wanting to protect your peace. But here's the truth: boundaries are not selfish, they are self-respect in action. They are not about punishment, they are about preservation. When you set boundaries, you're not only honoring yourself, but also teaching others how to honor you. Think of your energy as a resource, like water in a pitcher. If you keep pouring and pouring into others without refilling, what happens? You run dry. Boundaries ensure you don't deplete yourself for people who may not reciprocate or appreciate your efforts. They prevent resentment from building up because you've given too much of yourself without taking care of your own needs. It's important to remember that you don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy, time, or emotions. Your life is yours to live, and your well-being is your responsibility. Saying no when it feels right, declining invitations that drain you, or stepping back from relationships that harm you are not acts of selfishness, they are acts of survival and self-love. Yes, setting boundaries can be uncomfortable, especially when you're dealing with people who have grown accustomed to crossing them. Some may react with frustration, resistance, or even manipulation. But that discomfort is temporary. The peace you gain from establishing those boundaries is lasting. Over time, you will realize that boundaries are not about pushing people away, they are about welcoming the right people in, those who respect and honor your limits. Boundaries are not only a sign of strength, but also a declaration of your worth. They say, I value myself enough to protect my emotional, mental, and physical health. They remind you that you are not responsible for fixing, saving, or pleasing everyone around you. You are allowed to prioritize your own happiness. And if someone cannot respect your boundaries, then that person is showing you that they may not deserve a front row seat in your life. Toxic people are like emotional puppeteers, pulling strings to provoke reactions and feed off the chaos they create. Mastering the art of emotional detachment is your way of cutting those strings, reclaiming your peace, and stepping off their stage. It's about recognizing that you don't have to engage in every drama or respond to every provocation. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you care selectively and wisely. You choose not to let someone else's behavior control your emotions, your actions, or your state of mind. Imagine yourself in the middle of a storm. The winds are howling, the rain is pouring, and the chaos is swirling all around you. Emotional detachment is like standing in the eye of that storm, calm, centered, and unmoved. It's understanding that the storm exists, but you don't have to be swept away by it. It's not about denying your feelings or pretending that negativity doesn't affect you. It's about refusing to give toxic people the satisfaction of seeing you lose your balance. Detachment is not weakness, it's power. It's recognizing that you have control over your reactions, even when you don't have control over someone else's behavior. Toxic people thrive on emotional engagement. They feed off your anger, frustration, and hurt because it validates their influence over you. By choosing detachment, you take that power away from them. You become the one in control, the one who decides how much access they have to your peace of mind. This doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. Emotional detachment is a skill, not an absence of empathy. It's about learning to separate your emotions from someone else's behavior so you don't get drawn into their vortex of negativity. You can acknowledge their feelings without absorbing them. You can listen without losing yourself in their drama. And you can care without compromising your boundaries. Detachment also teaches you to pick your battles wisely. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every slight deserves retaliation. And not every situation requires your emotional investment. When you learn to let go of the need to react, you free yourself from the toxic cycle of conflict and chaos. Instead of being reactive, you become reflective. You focus on what truly matters and conserve your energy for the people and things that uplift you. Mastering emotional detachment takes practice, especially if you're naturally empathetic or deeply invested in your relationships. But with time and intention, it becomes second nature. It becomes your shield in situations where toxicity threatens to overwhelm you. Detachment allows you to observe without absorbing, to empathize without entangling, and to remain calm in the face of provocation. Here's the thing: not every fight deserves your energy, and not every relationship is meant to last. Knowing when to walk away is one of the most empowering choices you can make for yourself, yet it's also one of the hardest. It requires courage, clarity, and a deep understanding of your worth. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up or admitting defeat. It means you've decided that your peace, happiness, and well-being are more valuable than staying in a situation that drains or diminishes you. It's a declaration that you will no longer compromise yourself for the sake of maintaining a connection that no longer serves you. Some people and situations are simply not meant to be fixed. Toxic individuals often thrive on conflict, manipulation, and control. They aren't looking for resolution, they're looking for attention, power, or validation. Engaging with them only fuels their behavior, keeping you trapped in a cycle of negativity. Walking away breaks that cycle. It sends a clear message: I refuse to be part of this anymore. Walking away is not an act of weakness, it's an act of strength. It's recognizing that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. It's understanding that staying in a toxic environment, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or a workplace, can cost you far more than leaving ever will. The longer you stay, the more you risk losing pieces of yourself, your confidence, your peace, your joy. Walking away is about choosing yourself over the toxicity that threatens to erode your sense of self-worth. It's important to remember that walking away is not about abandoning responsibility or avoiding difficult situations. It's about knowing when a situation is beyond saving and having the wisdom to stop pouring your energy into something that only drains you. It's about realizing that some battles are not yours to fight, and some people are not willing or able to meet you halfway. Walking away can be painful, especially when you've invested time, love, and effort into a relationship or situation. You might feel guilt, doubt, or fear of the unknown. But pain is temporary. The peace you gain by leaving a toxic environment is lasting. Every step you take away from what harms you is a step toward what heals you. It's a step toward freedom, clarity, and self-respect. Toxicity can take a toll on your mind, body, and spirit, often in ways you don't even realize until the weight becomes unbearable. That's why practicing radical self-care isn't just a luxury, it's your armor, your sanctuary, and your greatest act of self-preservation. Radical self-care is not about indulging yourself occasionally, it's about making your well-being a daily, non-negotiable priority. It's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup and that your peace, happiness, and health must come first if you're going to show up fully in the world. Self-care isn't just bubble baths, spa days, or a night off, though those can be beautiful parts of it. Radical self-care goes deeper. It's about protecting your mental and emotional energy as fiercely as you would protect a treasured possession. It's about listening to your body when it's tired, listening to your heart when it's heavy, and listening to your intuition when it tells you something isn't right. It's about stepping away from what drains you and leaning into what replenishes you. Radical self-care is choosing yourself over and over again without apology. It's setting boundaries that protect your time and energy even when it's uncomfortable. It's saying no to things that don't align with your values and yes to the things that nourish your soul. It's knowing that prioritizing your well-being isn't selfish, it's essential. When you care for yourself, you strengthen your ability to face challenges, support others, and live authentically. It's also about creating routines and habits that sustain you. Whether it's journaling, meditating, exercising, or simply sitting in silence, radical self-care is about consistently showing up for yourself. It's about acknowledging that your needs matter even when the world demands otherwise. It's taking the time to recharge, to reflect, and to reconnect with yourself so you can meet life with resilience and grace. You don't have to fight this battle alone. In fact, life isn't meant to be navigated in isolation, especially when dealing with the weight of toxic people and challenging situations. That's why finding your tribe, the people who truly see you, understand you, and uplift you, is not just a comfort, it's a lifeline. Your tribe is your sanctuary, your safe haven in a world that can sometimes feel overwhelming. They are the people who remind you of your worth, who cheer you on when you're doubting yourself, and who stand by your side when the storms roll in. Finding your tribe starts with recognizing that not everyone is meant to walk your journey with you. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life, and that's okay. Your tribe isn't about quantity, it's about quality. It's about surrounding yourself with people who align with your values, respect your boundaries, and celebrate your successes without jealousy or competition. These are the people who fill your cup rather than drain it, who challenge you to grow rather than criticize, and who love you for exactly who you are, flaws and all. Your tribe is more than just friends or acquaintances, they are your chosen family. These are the people who see your potential, even when you can't see it yourself. They hold space for you to heal, to vent, to cry, and to dream. They don't judge you for your struggles, and they don't abandon you when things get tough. Instead, they lift you higher, reminding you of your strength and helping you find your way back to yourself when you feel lost. Finding your tribe doesn't happen overnight, and it often requires letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. It takes courage to release people who may have been in your life for years but who no longer bring positivity or growth. But when you do, you create space for the right people to enter. Your tribe will find you when you're being authentically yourself, unapologetically living your truth. They'll resonate with your energy because they're meant to be part of your journey. Your tribe doesn't just support you, they inspire you. They push you to dream bigger, to love harder, and to be the best version of yourself. They challenge you to see things from new perspectives and help you discover strengths you didn't know you had. They're the ones who celebrate your wins like they're their own and who remind you to keep going when the road gets rough. Finding your tribe also means reciprocating that love and support. It's about showing up for them the way they show up for you. It's about creating a space where trust, kindness, and understanding flow both ways. It's about building a foundation of mutual respect and encouragement that grows stronger over time. In a world that often feels divided and disconnected, your tribe is your anchor. They remind you that you're not alone, that you're part of something bigger, and that there are people who genuinely care about your well-being. They are the antidote to the toxicity and negativity that can sometimes surround you. Your tribe is your strength, your joy, and your reminder that love and connection are always within reach. When you find your tribe, you find a piece of yourself. You find the courage to let go of what weighs you down and the confidence to rise higher than ever before. So seek them out, cherish them, and hold them close, for they are the ones who will walk beside you through every chapter of your life. Drama thrives on attention, feeding off the energy it drains from those caught in its web. Toxic people often excel at creating chaos, drawing you into a cycle of blame, conflict, and negativity that leaves you feeling exhausted and defeated. But here's the key: you don't have to play their game. Focusing on solutions rather than drama is your way of breaking free from the chaos and regaining control over your emotional and mental energy. It's about shifting your perspective, refusing to be pulled into unnecessary conflict, and channeling your efforts into actions that lead to progress, peace, and resolution. When you focus on solutions, you reclaim your power. Drama thrives on emotional reactions, on the he said, she said narrative that goes nowhere and only escalates tension. By redirecting your attention to solutions, you take away the fuel that feeds the fire. You decide that instead of engaging in endless arguments or overanalyzing the problem, you will focus on what can be done to move forward. It's not about ignoring the issue or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about choosing a productive response over a destructive one. Focusing on solutions means asking yourself, what can I control in this situation? What steps can I take to make it better? Toxic people often want you to feel powerless, to believe that the situation is hopeless or that their way is the only way. By prioritizing solutions, you remind yourself that you are not powerless. You may not be able to change someone else's behavior, but you can change how you respond to it. You can set boundaries, seek help, or remove yourself from the situation entirely. Choosing solutions over drama also means stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. Drama has a way of pulling you into the moment, making you react impulsively and emotionally. Solutions require thoughtfulness, clarity, and a willingness to rise above the noise. They require you to pause, assess the situation objectively, and consider the best course of action for your well-being and peace of mind. Focusing on solutions doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations or sweeping issues under the rug. It means approaching those conversations with the goal of resolution, not escalation. It's about expressing your feelings and concerns calmly and constructively, rather than getting caught up in blame or defensiveness. Toxic people may try to drag you into arguments that go in circles, but when you stay solution-focused, you guide the conversation toward a productive outcome or choose to end it if no resolution is possible. Drama demands attention, but solutions require intention. It's easy to get caught up in the emotions of the moment, but focusing on solutions demands discipline and self-awareness. It's about recognizing when you're being pulled into the chaos and making a conscious choice to step back and redirect your energy. This doesn't mean you're indifferent or detached. It means you're committed to finding a way forward that honors your peace and integrity. Compassion is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It allows us to connect with others on a deep level, to understand their pain, and to offer support in times of need. But sometimes compassion can also be a double-edged sword, especially when you're dealing with toxic people who may not appreciate or reciprocate your kindness. Leading with compassion from a distance is an essential skill for protecting your own well-being while still offering empathy and understanding to others. It's about recognizing when someone needs support, but also knowing when it's time to step back and preserve your peace. Leading with compassion from a distance means giving yourself permission to care for others without sacrificing your own mental, emotional, and physical health. You can be there for someone without allowing them to drag you into their drama or negativity. Compassion does not require you to be constantly available to absorb someone's pain or to fix their problems. It simply means that you acknowledge their struggles, offer kindness, and make space for their feelings, but you don't let their burdens become yours. This approach requires a deep understanding that sometimes people are going through difficult times and they may need empathy, but they also may not be in a place where they can heal or change. Toxic people, for example, might often demand more than you can give, draining your energy and pulling you into their cycles of chaos. Leading with compassion from a distance means you can love them without getting lost in their turmoil. You set clear boundaries that protect your peace, while still sending them love and understanding from afar. It's the art of caring without being consumed. Compassion doesn't always require proximity. In fact, leading with compassion from a distance is often the most powerful way to help someone. It means understanding that you can still offer support and love, but you don't need to be enmeshed in their world. You don't need to take on their emotions or assume responsibility for their healing. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is give someone space to work through their challenges on their own, knowing that they are capable of finding their own way. Leading with compassion from a distance also means knowing when to let go. It's hard to let go of people we care about, especially when they are going through tough times, but holding on to them when they continuously bring negativity into our lives is not compassionate toward ourselves. There's wisdom in knowing when your presence is enabling unhealthy behavior, or when your attempts to help are falling on deaf ears. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is create distance, so that both you and the other person have room to breathe, grow, and heal. This approach does not imply judgment or rejection. Compassion from a distance is about recognizing that both you and the other person deserve peace. You honor their journey and their right to work through their struggles, but you also honor your own need for serenity. It's about maintaining empathy without getting entangled in someone else's emotional mess. You can love someone from afar, offer a listening ear without absorbing their pain, and extend kindness without losing yourself in their turmoil. Leading with compassion from a distance also means offering resources, advice, or help in a way that empowers the other person to take responsibility for their own life. You can suggest professional help, share resources, or offer encouragement, but you don't need to be the one to fix everything for them. The distance allows them the space to work on their own growth, to seek out the help they need, and to heal on their own terms. Ultimately, leading with compassion from a distance is a practice of balance. It's about showing up for others without sacrificing yourself in the process. It's about offering understanding, support, and love while recognizing that your first responsibility is to protect your own well-being. Compassion from a distance doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to set boundaries, protect your energy, and give both yourself and others the space to heal and grow. This approach allows you to stay true to your values while maintaining your peace, and in the end, it's the most sustainable way to lead with love. My friends, remember this: you are not defined by the toxic people in your life. You are defined by how you rise above them. Choose peace. Choose joy. Choose you. Because when you step into your power, no one, not even the most toxic person, can take that away from you. Now, go out there and claim your light. You deserve it. Thank you.